What is up, sexy beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today I'm going to be doing top 5 things I'm most anticipated for in ZETSUBOU and SHIMA, so let's go ahead and get the shit started. So I've seen a lot of other YouTubers make lists very similar to this, top 5 most anticipated, things I'm most anticipated for, why is Rabbit so handsome, you know, those kind of videos. And I was like, fuck it, you know, everyone else is doing it, and I'm excited for this map, so I'm going to do it too, you know, hashtag bandwagon. So coming in at number 5 is going to be the boss zombie, aka Shrek, because I think that's the name everyone's actually given him because we're in a swamp and he does not seem too happy about us being in a swamp. I don't know why I'm really anticipated about this boss zombie, it just looks really cool. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Margwa, and I did not like the Margwa whatsoever, but this looks like an improved version of the Margwa, so you know the Margwa we had to shoot 3 of his heads off and then he goes bye-bye. This just has like these 3 glowing orangish yellowish things on his body, and it seems to me like we just have to shoot those, and if they fall off, we might get a drop or something, or he just eventually dies once we shoot all 3 of them off. So it looks like a better, more improved version of the Margwa, and it just looks really creepy. Just imagine seeing this thing come at you in a dark alley or a dark hallway, if the map has that, which I'm assuming it's going to because I said this map's really creepy. So just imagine this thing sprinting at you or crawling at you, or if he's going to be like Spider-Man, instead of, you know, web, he's using vines and he's gliding across the map. That's probably not how he's going to do it, but, you know, I can imagine. And I really want to know the backstory behind this. I can probably guess, like, what the general backstory is going to be. They were trying to experiment with humans, and one went very wrong, and this abomination was kind of made. Now there's probably going to be a lot more detail once we get inside the map about how this thing was made, but I want to know. This thing looks cool, it looks scary. I just want to play with it and see if I actually like it in the game. So, you know, I'm really excited to actually see what this boss zombie has in store for us. Alright, the next thing I really can't wait for about this map is new weapons. Now let me finish. I'm excited for new weapons, that's why it's on this list. I'm tired of playing with the Black Ops 3, you know, futuristic weapons. I know people hate hearing me rant about this, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway because 420 blaze it. And at this point in Black Ops 3 Zombies, I'm just kind of happy to have new weapons in general. I don't care like what kind of weapons they are. They could be future, past, present, non-existent. They could be spears. We could be going Stone Age in this bitch and just have spears and dirt and poop. We could be just throwing poop around like monkeys. I don't care. I just want some new weapons because I'm already getting bored with the Black Ops 3 weapons, and it does look like we're going to be introduced into some new weapons. Now, we probably have a cool wonder weapon of the map, or we might have one return that we've already seen. That doesn't really matter to me. I just want a cool wonder weapon. You know, maybe the Thunder Gun returns, or maybe the Apothecon Servant. Jason Blundell, you know, hint hint. Or we might not even have a wonder weapon. Treyarch could be like, you know, fuck you. You guys ain't getting shit, which I highly doubt. It's just going to be cool to see what kind of weapons are on the map. If they're just going to introduce one new weapon or a couple, it'll be interesting to see. But in general, I just can't wait. I want to play with some new weapons. Alright, and coming in number 3 is going to be the creepiness. So, Treyarch said that this map is going to be very creepy. And in my mind, you know, very creepy means Verrucht creepy. I think Verrucht, in my opinion, is definitely the creepiest map in Zombies. It's definitely the scariest. And I hope this map can rival Verrucht. We've had a couple other, I guess, creepy maps, as the community likes to call it. Like Mob of the Dead. A lot of people say Mob of the Dead was creepy, but to me, Mob of the Dead really wasn't that scary at all. I feel like it was just way too overdone. There was a skull every 10 seconds, well, not even every 10 seconds, like every step you took, there was a skull, and that kind of, you know, just ruined it for me. If they would have done like a skull like every couple areas or something like that, and just toned it down a little bit, it would have been way more scary than it actually was, but they just overdid Mob of the Dead to the point where it really wasn't that scary. And the rest of Black Ops 2 Zombies wasn't really that scary at all. Transit was, like the cornfield, if you go inside the cornfield and just sit underneath the pylon and just listen, you hear all these creepy noises. So Transit did have its moments, but the rest of Black Ops 2 really didn't, and we haven't really seen any real creepy maps in Black Ops 3 yet. And they said this map is going to be the creepy one, and I can't wait. Because I feel like, you know, we're going to go back to the roots of Zombies, we're going to go back to the old maps, you know, how they used to play and how they used to feel. Now, I'm not saying I want to completely go back to the old maps. I do kind of like some of the stuff in Black Ops 3. I'm just saying the feeling. I want to go back to the World at War feeling of being stranded alone. Zombies are coming at you, you're probably gonna die, and you just hear and just feel all the scariness. It feels like Halloween, like when you were a little kid. You know, you were scared of Halloween when you were a little kid, and then you became a grown-ass woman, I mean man, and now you're not scared. You know, that's the kind of feeling I'm aiming for. Completely, you know, just sidetracked this entire video, but you guys understood what I mean. Alright, and taking the number 2 spot is going to be the story. So if you don't know the story of Der Eisendrache, spoilers, we actually killed Dempsey. So what Richtofen and the gang are trying to do is go kill the original characters from World of War and Black Ops 1 to save the universes. So they're trying to go back in time, kill those characters, and once they do that, they basically save the rest of the universes, and none of this bad stuff ever happens. Yay! So in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA, it looks like it's going to be Takeo based, and we're going back and killing Takeo. So I want to see if Takeo's going to have an epic sword fight with himself. That's what I'm, fingers crossed, that's what I'm hoping the cutscene is. Takeo and Takeo have an epic dual-wield ninja MLG Doritos sword fight, and then maybe it ends with just like Richtofen coming up behind him and just randomly shooting him during the middle of the fight. I feel like that'd be pretty funny, and we get to see a cool sword fight. So I can't wait for the story. I want to know how Takeo's going to die. I want to know the storyline behind the map. And I just want to see a bunch of cool stuff. I want to see some more cutscenes. I want to see some more boobs. I just want to see more stuff in general about this map. And the number one thing I'm most excited for about this map is definitely going to be the Easter egg. If the Easter egg is going to be almost as good as Dryzen Draha, I can't wait. I really did like Dryzen Draha's Easter egg. It was amazing. I loved the boss battle. I loved all the steps. There was no step that I really hated. I kind of liked them all. Like once you figured out how to do them all, you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. We've definitely had worse Easter eggs. But Dryzen Draha's Easter egg, I really do enjoy. I hope they bring back the boss fight at the end, and I hope they do a cutscene right after with what I just previously stated, a badass sword fight to the death, and I hope we get an awesome reward. So in Dryzen Draha, we get all the perks, but if you go down, you kind of lose them. I wish we get all the perks and we get to keep them, sort of like how we did in Moon. That's been my personal favorite Easter egg reward. I like getting all the perks and being able to keep them. Now they kind of have to tweak it a little bit solo, which I think they could do, just actually keep all the perks besides Quick Revive, so that way you just don't go down and get back up, because that's a little bit OP. And also, make the Easter egg doable solo, like they did with the Dryzen Draha. You can do that Easter egg solo. Let me do this one solo, and I will love you forever. So those are the top 5 things I'm most anticipated for in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA. I'm very curious to know, what do you guys think? And if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.